Yeah, I was like, oh, Dad. Wait, I can hear Garrett.
Yeah, I can hear you, Kyle.
All right.
Dad, I
There,
can't hear you, Pops.
there we
Hey,
are.
there we go.
Yeah, we're live.
I
So
was
There we
like,
come
Dad, you
go.
on
gotta
in.
unmute us.
Having fun.
That's how you start the show. Woo.
Yeah.
We're throwing baseball signals.
All right.
All right.
So go ahead and start us off. I have Kyle Dietert and Garrett Dietert. We're here live.
Yes, I.
Hello.
Let's just jump right into it, I guess,
All right.
right? So yeah, we're just gonna recap on week two and what all happened. So our first matchup that I want to like definitely, well, we're just gonna go down to like the best matchups, but for like the upsets and everything. But first off, I like to kick it off with James Madison and Louisville. It was a great game. I for sure thought James Madison might come up with the well. I would have said it would have been an upset because I felt like James Madison was definitely an underdog because Louisville they got a few good transfers that came in there to replace their back or to replace their quarterback that they lost last year. But I for sure thought Louisville was gonna just kill. In a way, I for sure thought that they would kill them. Like I didn't think James Madison could keep up with the athletes that Louisville had. But James Madison proved us wrong, and they kept up, and they were leading at half, which Louisville came back with 22 unanswered points in the second half, and they were trailing by it was 14-6, and Louisville came back to win that game. Gary, you got
Yeah,
anything you
no, I
want to add
mean,
about that?
well, it was an exciting week too. That's for sure. I mean, week two was pretty good. Looking at it, like to start before Saturday started, it was kind of like a lot of games that like this is gonna be blowouts, this is gonna be blowouts. But it actually turned out to be a great week of college
Yeah.
football, if you ask me.
Oh,
This
yeah.
James Madison Louisville game was pretty exciting. I mean, James Madison like went down and they punched him in the mouth for sure, and they took control of this game for a little bit, and then Louisville had to mount that comeback, like you said, and then come back and win that game late. So yeah, no, that was a fun game for sure, and James Madison representing the Sun Belt, looking well. So we'll see how that Sun Belt does. But yeah, what about the 11 o'clock game, the Iowa State happened 11 o'clock last Saturday? What you think of that game,
Hey,
Kyle?
that game was low scoring, very defensive battle. It seemed like they were both just getting down to it. Really, I felt like the defense really helped out on both sides of the ball. I felt both these defenses for Iowa and Iowa State definitely stood out. Huge rival game, and man, you already know that they were pumped to play that game because it was a huge rivalry game, bro. And yeah, making that field goal within a minute and 50, or yeah, a minute and 52, that field goal definitely counted to set the edge for Iowa State, man. It was a really good game to watch, though. It was really exciting. If you like rivalries.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the third year in a row that Iowa and Iowa State came down to a game-winning field goal. And Iowa State won the game last year on a game-winning field goal, so of course they did it again this year. But yeah, Iowa, of course, you're expecting a low-scoring game, good defensive game, a lot of running the ball. Iowa State brought that same mentality, and then yeah, clutched out a game-winning field goal. I still think Iowa State's a team to watch out for in the Big 12. I think they got a shot to make a little run for the title this year. So the Cyclones are looking good, 3-0 to start the year. So we'll see. That was a big win over
Oh,
Iowa.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
All
yeah, the
right.
next game that I want to talk about, Baylor SMU. This one hurt my heart. Yeah, I was a little sad on this one. I mean, SMU had the game in the bag. They were up 14 points in the fourth quarter. Baylor staged a comeback. SMU had a chance to win the game in the end of regulation, and then they missed the field goal. And then they went to overtime. Baylor, SMU both score in overtime real quick. SMU gets the ball to start, tries to kick another field goal, missed the field goal, and then Baylor ends up winning with a game-winning field goal. So, yeah, no, sad game. I mean, I was pulling for the Mustangs, but they just couldn't do it this week. But hey, it's a
Yeah,
Well,
long
I ain't gonna lie,
season. They
man.
still got
hey,
Miami and Clemson. They can make some noise.
hey, I told you so. I told you. I believe that SMU really wasn't as good as everybody thought they were, but we'll see. Well, I'll probably bounce back.
They're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
bounce back.
SMU's
No
gonna have to
worries.
bounce
When
back
they
now.
beat Clemson and Miami, then we'll be talking.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah, we'll
this
talk
game was
about
very
it.
exciting. A lot of yards put up in that game though, for sure. Baylor and SMU. I have the MVP of the week for Baylor's. His quarterback was outstanding. He did an amazing job. I don't care what his completion rate was, but he had a crazy amount of yards and touchdown. And he definitely stood out to me in that game. But yeah, it's sad to see SMU lose that game though. Like I was really pulling for SMU, and Dad was right. Dad had it all figured out
For
over there. He
once,
said,
right?
"Yeah, he's
I
like
think they're
SMU's
playing
not that
TCU
good."
either. They're playing TCU
Yeah,
soon, so we'll see how they bounce back.
but I don't think
Don't sleep
Baylor's
on them
that
much.
good either. So that's the problem.
Yeah, we'll see. Baylor's a team that
uh,
usually gets better as the season goes on. So, what
Right.
about this Ole Miss Kentucky matchup that we saw last week, which was a pretty close game for the most part of the game, or for most of the game?
oh yeah, man, we love a good old SEC matchup because they always. Because like once you're at that level of SEC, you know you're getting good recruits or decent transfers and good recruits really at that point. But I really liked Ole Miss. Basically, they did great, flawless. They have a quarterback that I'm pretty sure is new to the game, like this year. So like they had some huge shoes to fill. But it was a really good game, I believe overall. Very close. God, if I had the scores right now, I can actually tell you if it was a good defensive battle or not. But I'm guessing it was. It was probably a lot of offensive and defensive on both sides. So
Yeah,
like, it's a good SEC matchup. You already know it's going to be good.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I mean in Kentucky, and if you remember last year, Kentucky beat Ole Miss, took Ole Miss out of the playoffs. That was a huge game for Kentucky last season. This season, the second week of the season, I mean, it kind of went down. They were going back and forth for a while. Ole Miss took over in more of the fourth quarter or so. Kentucky wasn't able to move the ball, wasn't able to do stuff on offense, and then Ole Miss's offense kind of took over the game. So impressed by Ole Miss and how this team's kind of playing right now early in the season. I think Ole Miss is kind of slept on in the SEC because there's so many powerhouses. But Ole Miss is a team that I think is going to be a pretty decent team this year. They'll have a chance to kind of sneak into the playoffs, but I don't know. SEC is going to be it's going to be extremely tough. But yeah, let's jump to this next game, the primetime game last week, Miami and Oklahoma, or Michigan and Oklahoma. My
Yeah,
bad.
Michigan,
Oh my
Oklahoma.
god, man! Like this is crazy to really like. Yeah,
Yeah,
what Dad just mentioned there at the bottom right there with that text is crazy to think of, because you got to establish a run somehow, and having 31 carries with only 71 yards is crazy. Like you got to establish the run. Like, so I feel like Michigan definitely needs to work on that in the next coming week. They need to work on their run because I feel like Michigan always had a decent run game somehow. Like even against Ohio State, they would at least show like decent, even
yeah.
against a good defense. Like it's just weird to see
Yeah.
that now.
What
But
it's
I
going to
felt
take.
like it was a good game overall, and I for sure thought Michigan was going to come back, but they just couldn't pull it off.
Uh,
Bryce Underwood was under constant pressure, and this kid could not hang in though. But Oklahoma quarterback, hey, good old John. Yeah, John Mateer, I want to say his last name is.
Yeah,
He's a really
yeah.
good
Mateer.
quarterback, and both these quarterbacks are really good. But I definitely like John up there, man. He's making a name for himself, really, and I really liked watching him. Even though I don't like Oklahoma, but I don't like both these teams. But I really did like watching him and how he played, though.
Were you gonna say something, Dad?
Gary, you want to add on anything?
No, I was.
Yeah, I got it.
I just want to say that was an exciting game either way. I was glad with the outcome because I thought Oklahoma this year is better or much better than last year.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
my huge takeaway I thought was Oklahoma's defense looked great.
Oh
I mean,
God,
Oklahoma
yeah,
played really solid defense. I mean, Michigan's a team that's built on being able to run the football and play really good defense, and they didn't do either of those things. Yeah, Bryce Underwood, he's a true freshman. He's a young guy. He's a great player, great talent. He's going to be really good for Michigan. Sad to say that. But yeah, he was under constant pressure. They played a little conservative with him in the first half, I would say, and they weren't able to establish a rushing game. So all the pressure was on him. He had to try to do everything, which you can't expect from a true freshman quarterback like that, in my opinion. And then, yeah, he wasn't getting a lot of help all around. But Oklahoma's defense played phenomenal, and then their quarterback really stepped up. Hard-nosed kid. I believe he's a true freshman as well. And yeah, he played a great game. I mean, this Oklahoma team, it's sad to say, it's disheartening to say, but they're going to be a threat in the SEC. I mean, they got a defense, and now they got a quarterback that can run the ball and sling the ball some. So watch out for Oklahoma to make some noise now. We'll see when they come to Dallas and play in the Cotton Bowl against Texas, but in a few weeks. But yeah, and very impressive stuff by Oklahoma in week 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about
how about the
this,
next one?
Hey, this game was exciting though. I had a lot of fun watching this game. Texas State and UTSA.
Yeah.
Man, that was a great game. That like back and forth. Texas State finally made some big time stops. I think, big time stops in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
They
when they finally
won
needed
in
it.
the Alamo Dome. Yeah, that was the first win in the Alamo Dome, as you see there. That was so exciting. But yeah, I mean, back and forth. Texas State's offense was playing great. UTSA's defense UTSA's offense was playing good. High scoring game. Came down to the wire. Texas State made some big plays, made some big stops, like I said. Took home the dub. So yeah, no, exciting stuff. Kyle, what do you got to say?
Oh yeah, dude. The one player that definitely stood out for me was Sparks. I want to say his last name is Sparks. The wide receiver for Texas State, he really stood out to me, and that man made a huge difference when it came down to it. It's just Texas State. The only thing that they lacked in this game was not stopping the run against. God, I want to say his name is. I'm gonna slaughter his name, but I want to say it's Henry. That that kid is one standout running back, and he is crazy good.
Yeah,
He's right now is I want to say he is leading. Yeah, it's Henry. Yeah, Henry Jr. Robert Henry Jr. Yeah,
Robert
for
Henry Jr.
UTSA. That kid, he might not have the best offensive line, but he knows how to make some huge plays by just being a playmaker, really. And it's just like Texas State definitely needs to work on stopping the run. That's probably the best running back they're going to see this year, I believe in.
Yeah, I think in their
Well,
conference. I mean, I know that
I think
UTSA
he
is
is
in their conference,
overall.
but
I think he definitely, even over Arizona State, I don't think they have a running back this
no.
good.
Well,
Like, I
look at
really think if Texas State can stop the run and stand that up and definitely watch the deep ball, I think Texas State going into this next week, they got a lot to show, and I feel like they could definitely do good. But yeah, it was a great game to watch overall, and I really loved watching that one because it's always a great I-35 showdown,
Yeah.
baby.
well,
Yeah,
you got to
back
say,
home.
Robert Henry though, it wasn't only this he had a good game, but against A&M as well. You know, he had a great
Yeah,
game
Yeah,
no,
that's
he's
why
against
we gave him
tearing
the
it
A&M.
up.
So
that's why I gave him the player of the week.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we did, and I think if his offensive line can create seams, he doesn't need a hole. He just needs a seam, and he's gone. A strong running back at that.
Agreed.
He definitely has
So
the
I
longest
think
hair in
we
the
should.
league.
Yeah. I think let's you want to go ahead and let's go ahead and jump to our helmet stickers, why don't we? Let's give our offensive player of the week
Yeah, well,
out.
y'all go
You
ahead.
want to
So
now?
yeah, I think we should do it now. Okay, so what we decided on the offensive player of week 2, it has to go to Sawyer Robertson from Baylor. The quarterback from Baylor put up 440 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, made a huge impact in that game against SMU. Had to score big, or made big plays when he had to, scored big. I wasn't excited for him, but he did great. Great job. Hats off to him. So we'll definitely give it to him this week. I think that was a big time upset, big time matchup. So good for him.
I know what people
What?
say when they go into double overtime. Oh, of course they're going to get more stats and all that, but like still, 440 yards is a lot.
Yeah.
We're not going to look at
And
his
I mean,
completion
he
rate,
made the
but
plays.
yeah, we're not
Oh,
going to look at
yeah.
his completion rate, but the yardage is crazy though to think of.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, he made the plays when he needed to make the plays, step up in the big moment. So hats off to him. Big upset. And yeah, defensive player of the week, Kyle.
Oh yeah, man, this kid is. I know we don't like saying, oh well, like we're gonna pick a player that played a crappy team just to get his stats up, but I picked the dude for A&M. I want to say his. Oh God, I'm gonna slaughter that, but I'm just gonna say Howard, the defensive lineman for Texas
Howell,
A&M. Yeah, or Howell. Yeah,
Cassius
sorry. Yeah,
Howell.
yeah, yeah. That's what I said. Okay, the defensive line from Texas A&M. He recorded with a good old 4 tackles, and impressively he had 3 consistent sacks in a row, which he was the first. He's the first SBS player since 2015 to do that. Basically, to have 3 consecutive sacks within one drive is crazy to think of. In my brain, I'm like, that's wild. Like, but it hasn't been
Yeah.
done since 2015 in college football. So like, you got to or in the FBS. So what you really thinking of is like, dang, this player might be actually be something really good for this A&M program because
Yeah, no.
A&M needs to have a good defense. Like, especially this going into this week, this kid needs to show out. Like, he definitely does need to show out against this Notre Dame offense. I know they're young, but he definitely needs to show out.
Yeah, and I mean, impressive performance by him for sure. Getting 4 and then yeah, 3 consecutive sacks on one drive against Utah State. I mean, he made big plays and big moments. So that A&M defense was tearing up Utah State. I mean, I think that game was kind of close there in the beginning, and then A&M ended up running away with it. But yeah, they got a big test this week against Notre Dame. So yeah, I would love to jump now into let's talk about some of these week 3 matchups. This is a very exciting week. Week 3 is going to be very cool, very intense, very crazy if you ask me. So yeah, who are we looking at for upset alert?
Oh
Some of
yeah,
these
upset
upset
alert.
games to watch out for.
All right, the first one I like to introduce is definitely the SEC matchup. Like we got to go with Arkansas and Ole Miss. Like Arkansas, I believe a year ago to 2 years ago, they had the tallest wide receiver class in the SEC, which was averaging. I want to say they were 6'3" to 6'2" and up. So this, if they do have a good wide receiver class, I believe Arkansas can definitely upset Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a young, or they have, I believe that they have a young quarterback this year, and I don't think Ole Miss is ready for Arkansas. Arkansas is a huge team to upset a lot of people this year, and I feel like any SEC team is a huge they throw everything they got just to upset a ranked team to change up the whole conference really. But I definitely see Arkansas making a huge upset this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good call. Like Arkansas's had some really rough years the past couple years, but the one thing they can do is upset teams. That's for sure. They might not be the most consistent team in the SEC, but they can upset. And so, yeah, Arkansas going down to Ole Miss. No one's talking about Arkansas. Everyone's sleeping on Arkansas. I think they got a good chance of making some noise here and have a potential upset against an Ole Miss team that has looked pretty good this season, but still has a lot of room to grow. And so if they make a lot of mistakes here against this Arkansas team, I think it's going to be tough. I mean, it's an SEC matchup. You can't take anyone lightly in the SEC. So yeah, no, I think this is a good little upset alert. And now this next game is one I would, if I was a betting man, I would put some bets on because I would not be surprised to see Texas State upset Arizona State. The only thing that scares me about this game, so last year this game kind of came down to the wire when they played in San Marcos. This year it's in Arizona State, or it's at Arizona State. Arizona State just got upset against Mississippi State. Didn't mention that, but yeah, Mississippi State, huge upset over Arizona State.
Yeah, but
They're
they
going to be
went
coming back
crazy.
firing on all 4 cylinders.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I,
Mississippi State took down the goalposts and everything. It was
oh
like
yeah,
they won the national championship. They went nuts. I don't know if you remember that
yeah.
Mississippi State last week.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Arizona State's got that bitter taste in their mouth. They want
Yeah.
revenge, so they're going to come out swinging against Texas State. But I think this Texas State team is better than last year, and I think this Texas State team can definitely beat Arizona State. So this is an interesting matchup, if you ask me.
Yeah.
What do you
Oh
think,
yeah.
Kyle?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Now, when y'all were talking about the goalpost coming down, no, I swear I thought somebody had like a wrench or something that like cranked down the goal because they had it down right after the game, and I thought it was the people trying to save the goalpost so the fans didn't take off with it because they had it down instantly. Like I was like, what is going on? And then they walked all the way through the field while they're interviewing the head coach of Mississippi State. I'm like, what's going on? Like they had it down so fast. I ain't gonna
Gotta
lie, I
love college
was
football.
tripping. Like I swear, like they took it down on purpose just to save the goalpost so they wouldn't get like damaged or anything. Like I thought it was facility, like the maintenance taking it down. I was because it went down so quick. which I thought
But
was crazy. But yeah, for this Texas State team, I for sure it's going to be a good game. I feel like if Sam Levitt doesn't do really good, I feel watch this Texas State defense to do some good things. But Sam Levitt is going to be a huge playmaker in this game, and you got to stop him because he can definitely run with the ball and like do all sorts of things. So he's a real versatile player that Texas State's defense really needs to like hold and stop. Which I
Yeah.
feel like they're going to do a lot of where they send the wide receivers off, and then basically, if it's a good third down and like 3 or 4, probably just run it with Sam Levitt to get the yardage. But
yeah,
I feel like Texas State definitely has a great chance here to upset a really decent program and put themselves on the map, like here.
Yeah,
But it's
I
this
do.
Texas State always comes out way too strong in the first part of the halves and they always slack off in like the fourth or third quarter.
Yeah,
Like they really have no
I
finish,
agree.
which Texas State just needs to work on that. And if they can
Finish.
finish this game, I believe Texas State could definitely upset them.
There you
yeah.
go.
Good thing these schools don't know how to party, so they're not party schools at all.
Yeah, never.
Never. All right, let's talk about this big game. This is a big matchup, if you ask me. I mean, College Game Day is going down to Rocky Top. You got Tennessee, Georgia, huge matchup. It's at Tennessee. Georgia's coming in, obviously ranked higher. Tennessee's they're both undefeated. Huge matchup here. Huge at stakes. Definitely an upset alert. I think Georgia's definitely projected to win this game right now, but Tennessee's got a pretty solid offense. They've been putting up a lot of points. They got a young offense, but yeah, it's been super productive for them. So this will be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be close either way.
Yeah, Gary, I'm
Yeah, I
glad
think
you're
so.
talking about this right now, but I'm looking at the predictions right now, and it's 51.5% Tennessee beating Georgia right now. I'm looking at the ESPN.
Wow.
Yeah, they changed it. I said, oh,
Wow.
God. They got Georgia at 48.5, so it's basically split down the
Georgia,
middle.
yeah. And the
Man,
Georgia's looked very sloppy to start the season. I think they played two pretty not great teams and didn't look great. So, but that's every year Georgia kind of starts out sloppy, if you ask me. But they're a good football team for sure. They got the talent, they got the players. So we'll see how they look against Tennessee.
it's going to be close either way between these two, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in Rocky Top. Ooh, it's gonna be tough.
Rocky
it's going to be a
Top,
loud drunk fest right there, baby. You know it's
Oh
going to be
yeah,
loud.
you always be home to me. Good old Rocky Top. You got to love the song, dog.
ooh, yeah.
Rocky Top, Tennessee. Yeah. All right, next
All
up.
right, let's go. Oh, big matchup. Texas A&M at Notre Dame. What do you think, Kyle?
Rudy, Rudy, Rudy.
Hey, I ain't saying nothing yet other than that it's going to be a fun game. I think Notre Dame's gone down this year. I mean, I don't think they have the defense that we've seen in years past. So that's why I think A&M has this upset. Hey, anybody else? Come on, Ad.
Yeah,
Well,
okay, yeah, no.
go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, no, I could definitely talk all day about this. Texas A&M is like my Oklahoma Sooners. I don't like them. But I feel like A&M definitely has to stop the run because UTSA has definitely put up yards against them, and you can't tell me that A&M doesn't have the athletes to stop UTSA, which is kind of like I feel like A&M needs to prove themselves in this game. And like if they could stop the run, then I feel like this could definitely be a low scoring game here because Notre Dame does have a young quarterback, a very young quarterback, and then yeah, they have a freshman quarterback for Notre Dame, and he is not doing too well. He just needs to settle down and really like get the groove of things. But upset wise, Texas A&M is looking really good right now. But I'm
And,
not gonna say too much about it because I don't like A&M.
yeah. As far as ranking too, I think it's just about right. But any teams that are within the top 20, I think any one of them can upset the other. Like you could take a top 20 team and say they're going to beat the 10 team. I just think they're all so close, and we've only got like the top 5 tier that I think can really stretch it out from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, I mean it's so early on in the season. I mean we're
Yeah.
only in week 3. They've only
Yeah.
played 2 games, and Texas A&M's played UTSA and Utah State. So it's not like that level of competition is not the same as Notre Dame playing Miami in Miami. So I think Notre Dame's actually a good team this year. I really do. I think they struggled defensively the first week, but I think Miami is pretty legit this year. So I see this game kind of being a low scoring game, like you said, Kyle. And I think both these teams are kind of figuring out. And they both had good coaches. I just think Marcus Freeman over there at Notre Dame, he knows what he's doing. He's a great coach. I actually have a lot of respect for him at Notre Dame. And I don't know. I think this is going to be very tough for Texas A&M to go up to South Bend, Indiana, and upset Notre Dame. But the possibility is definitely there. A&M's got the talent to do it, and they have the possibility. But it's going to be tough. I think this Notre Dame team is better than people think just because of the loss at Miami. So yeah, last but not least, let's talk a little bit about these South Florida and Miami games. South Florida, I think they got a big win last week, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of really
against
upset my projections at the beginning of the year because I was all hyping up Florida, but South Florida, man, they're killing it. They beat Boise State. They beat Florida last week on a game-winning field goal, which we didn't even talk about, but that was an epic game. I couldn't
Oh,
believe it.
yeah.
I think that was the biggest game of the week. This
that was my favorite
South
game of the
Florida,
week.
yeah, these South Florida Bulls are swinging. I mean, they played, knocked off Boise and Florida. Now they got Miami. If they could upset Miami, South Florida might be the team to beat this year. I mean, they're cooking
Yeah.
right now. They're on all cylinders. They have all the momentum going for them. Now they got to go to Hard Rock Stadium and try to upset these Hurricanes who look pretty dang good with Carson Beck at quarterback, and that defense has gotten a lot better this year. So,
Hey,
this is
G,
going
you
to be a
remember when I
fun one.
texted you the? You remember when I texted you about the when was the last time that what is it? God dang it, I don't even know their brief. South Florida was ranked for the first time in their career. Do you remember what year it was?
2007.
2007 was the first year that South Florida was ever ranked, and they got up to rank number 2 in the nation. And that was the crazy season of 2007, where everybody that was ranked number 2 lost that year. Basically, no one broke the charm, or no one broke that, which was crazy to think of. But yeah, Byron Brown, this quarterback for South Florida, is no joke. He loves contact, like he loves it. He loves going, even though he's about to score. He rather truck some dude going in the end zone than running away from him, which I love because he's a fighter and he doesn't care if he really gets injured. He's just out there having fun and having a great time. But he's very aggressive, which I love for a quarterback to do that stuff. But look out for him to make a huge deal. Carson Beck, definitely have him in the Heisman race still. If this quarterback, though, for South Florida can really put his team on the map and really does really good performing against a good Miami team, I feel like this kid can definitely maybe run for the Heisman. He is a senior. So I watch this kid to make a huge deal this game. But Carson Beck is a good
Yeah.
quarterback, and God, God knows what he's going to do in this game. But he's a great quarterback to watch. Definitely a
Yeah.
Heisman race person right now. So this is definitely going to be a great game to watch. Really.
Yeah, these Florida teams are kind of cooking so far this year. We'll see how it goes. I mean, you got Florida State, Miami, South Florida, Florida Atlantic's looking good. Anyways, yeah, a lot of good stuff happening down in Florida. So that'll be very very exciting game. And yeah, let's move on to what we currently have as our Heisman watch. And I
Yeah.
mean it hasn't changed. Well, yeah, we added a few names in here, a little mix around, but yeah, Kyle, go take us through the list.
Oh yeah, I didn't really change it up much. I got Garrett Nessmeyer. He didn't do too great last week, which I was kind of upset. Very low scoring game. I felt like Garrett Nessmeyer should have definitely came out a little bit better. He struggled a bit, but we're not going to talk about who else struggled a little bit because he ain't even on the list. Arch Manning, he
Yeah.
struggled a little bit in the
He's
first
getting it
couple of
together.
quarters.
Yeah,
But
he's
I got Drew out, or
slowly getting it
I,
together.
yeah, I got
Drew
Drew from Penn
Aller.
State, definitely number 2. I didn't really watch. I don't even know if they even had a game. I really didn't watch them because they probably
They
didn't play
did,
much against
but they killed
anybody.
him. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they killed
Yeah,
him.
John Mateer, definitely a standout quarterback after getting a huge win last week. I definitely moved him in the race. People have him up there in the favorites, even up there with Garrett Nesmeyer. They have them to the very top, which I'm very shocked about because he's still very young. Carson Beck, I'm just going to keep up there for sure because he's a great quarterback, I believe. But is he going to move up to the next tier? Like, you got to prove some more. Like, you just got to keep getting good stats and being a good leader. Jeremiah Smith is definitely the best wide receiver. I would say he's up there. He's one of the best wide receivers in the whole league. You can't stop this dude. Double team him, triple team him, he's gonna get open. Like, you got to find a way to stop this dude. And which you can't stop the dude when you have the best quarterback on your team also. So you really can't put him up against him because Caleb Downs is probably the best dude you can put against him, which
Yeah,
they're on the same team. So you really can't stop him. Cade Klubnik, God, I Texas boy, you already know he's gonna be good. Like you, it's just I really want to see him get better as the season goes along. Though I feel like he will. He'll settle down eventually and do a lot better than what he has been doing. But yeah, that's all I got
yeah.
to say about the Heisman race.
Yeah, and I mean it's still early on. Yeah, we just finished week 2, played 2 games. It's hard to really tell on who's like really standing out and who's not. John Mateer, great game against Michigan, huge win. When you step up in those big games and make those big moment plays like he did against Michigan, you're obviously going to jump up in the Heisman race.
Yeah.
Carson Beck's got a chance to make some noise this week against USF. Gary Nesmeyer's got a huge game against Florida. Drew Aller, we probably won't see. Like, he'll probably put up consistent numbers against a lot of these Big Ten teams or lower tier teams until we see him play the Ohio States, Michigans, and such. We'll kind of learn more about Drew Aller. Jeremiah Smith, absolute dog. I think he's one of the best players in college football. He's obviously, like you said, he's definitely one of the best receivers. And Kate Klubnik's got a lot to show, like lot more left in the tank to prove. He's got a big game against Georgia Tech this week. He's going to have to play SMU and Miami later on in the year. So we'll see how he responds after that first week loss against LSU. So, yeah, exciting stuff. I like that Heisman breakdown there. And so let's go ahead and move on to our favorite segment, the Triple D Pick'ems.
Oh, yeah, we'll
So
get.
right now, our
Let's see. Let me pull it
leaderboard.
up
Yeah,
here.
you got the leaderboard to pull up.
I'm gonna get that
Sadly,
up just a second.
sadly, I'm not in the lead. I know we're all surprised. We kind of thought I would be, but these dang college football upsets keep messing me up.
I've
I
been
guess
doing a
that's
great
why they
job with
play.
it.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
see.
that's the
Here it
exciting thing
is.
about I would say this year in college football. There's more hype. Yeah, listening to game day last week, this is the most the fans have ever watched. You never know what's going to happen any given Saturday, so it's been really fun. I'm sitting there 14-9. Kyle and Dad both 16-7, so good work for them. I got some improvement to do, but don't worry, we'll bounce back this week.
Yeah, we're right
Oh
there.
yeah,
14-9, 16-7 tied. Me and Kyle. Well, it's only a matter of a game or so. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see
we'll
how
bounce
this
back.
week
I'll bounce back.
goes.
We
Yeah.
ain't worried.
Hey,
yeah. Okay, well,
worry.
y'all ready just to jump into it almost?
Yeah, I'm
Let's
ready
get
to
it.
jump into it.
All right,
Yeah.
All
G.
So
right.
Well, Do you know what I'm looking at right now? It's kind of crazy to think of right now. I didn't even know this. I didn't even do research on it. But we got number 12 Clemson versus Georgia Tech. At they're playing in Georgia, baby. So you already know that they're coming to Georgia Tech. Which right now I'm looking at right now is Hayes King being a backup right now, which is surprising me. Shockingly, they have a freshman Aaron Philo for Georgia Tech that has more passing yards and played a lot last week. Which I'm like, I don't know if Hayes King got hurt or what, but it's saying he's active right now. So I don't know if he got hurt last week or what's going on with that. Because Hayes King is not a bad quarterback. He's been there for, I believe this is the second year. And last year
Yes,
he had a
yeah,
great
definitely.
run. A lot of close matchups. Definitely against Georgia was his biggest one where they went against Georgia multiple overtimes and almost pulling off a huge upset last year. But out of this game, I definitely have Cade Klubnik coming away with it. You can't stop them. I got Clemson. They have the athletes, way better athletes than Georgia Tech. I would like to see the upset, but I got Clemson.
All right, so not so fast. No. if Haynes King isn't the starting quarterback and they got some freshman that's better than Hayes King, then they must got some dog over there. Because I thought Hayes King was absolute dog. I mean, he was played his hearts out, ran the ball hard, couldn't stop the man. Since it's at home in Georgia or at Georgia Tech, give me Georgia Tech for the upset this week.
Oh wow!
Give me the Yellow Jackets.
Hey, I'm gonna
Clemson
stick with
can't
Clemson on this one only
can't
because
keep
I
up.
think overall defense, wins championships, and I think Clemson's defense is still pretty good because they still haven't allowed a lot of points per game, so they're keeping teams down. So I think they'll be fine, and I'm gonna go with the good old Clemson. So that's our first pick. What's going to be our next?
Hey, Gary, you got us?
Yeah, all right. So yeah, like we talked about earlier in the upset alert, we got Arkansas at Ole Miss, so we're playing in Oxford. It's going to be a
Yeah.
tough game. I think Ole Miss isn't going to be prepared. Ole Miss is going to start slow, start sloppy. Arkansas is going to come in there, punch them in the mouth. This game's going to look kind of weird at first. It's going to be close, and then I think just like last week, Ole Miss is going to kind of take control of the game in the fourth quarter and win this game by a touchdown or so in the fourth. So give me Ole Miss.
Okay.
Plus, if they got
All
the
right.
baby blue jerseys, are cold.
All right, Kyle,
Ole
who you
Miss.
got?
Ole Miss is crazy to look at now. Yeah, I've been saying their quarterback's young. I've been saying I don't know anything about him. But looking at it now, his name's Austin Simmons, sophomore quarterback. So he is really young. A lot of shoes he had to fill from last year. But I definitely, SEC matchup, and I'm going to go with Arkansas pulling off an upset. Away game
Oh,
upset. Arkansas just going to pull off the upset. I don't know if they even have the athletes to do it, but they're going to do it.
All right. Well,
Arkansas is
I'm
known
right
for their
there.
upsets.
Hey, Garrett, this is your chance to catch up on both of us if you win this. So, because I'm going with the Hogs, man. Soo-wee! Yeah, all right, let's go, Hogs. Let's go. Yeah, so that's who I'm picking on that one. I got to take the upset.
All right, Dad, go ahead and lead us off for this next one here.
Oh, man. I don't know if I can do that, so let me see. Oh, you give me the tough one. This is a toss up to me between two great programs. Georgia's been in it every year here in the last 4 years. So, I mean, right up there in the playoffs, up in the top, and winning national championships. Tennessee has been just on the verge of really, taking it to the next level. So, Rocky Top! Here we go. That's who I'm picking. I'm going Tennessee. Well,
Right.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Hey, that's a great pick. That's a great pick right there. Looking at the stature right now, looking at both teams and who their better players are, rushing yards, passing yards. I feel like Tennessee is going to make some noise there, but
uh-oh.
also I think Georgia has definitely made some bigger noise, and they've gone in
Uh-oh.
some bigger houses to upset some bigger teams. I got Georgia pulling off, or winning, not pulling off an upset. I got Georgia winning. Go Dogs.
Oh, okay.
No, it'll be like this.
Hey Gary,
All
what
right,
the
all right,
what's
all
that
right.
comment down?
Yeah, no, excited. This is going to be a very exciting game. Game day is going to be down there. Everyone in Tennessee is going to be going absolutely crazy down in
Yeah.
Knoxville. Georgia's looked really rough this year. Offensively, they've been really struggling. But everybody knows historically, Georgia's had a great defense that tackles very well. That's their key thing. Every time I've ever watched Georgia, their tackling has been top tier. Tennessee has a great offense this year. They've been putting up stupid amount of points. Now they're going against this tougher Georgia defense. Georgia's offense has looked bad, but Tennessee's defense hasn't looked great. This is kind of going to be a back and forth matchup, I think. Tennessee's got the home field advantage, but I think
Ooh.
Georgia wins in a close one. Last second field goal.
Oh. Hey, there it is.
Yeah, give me Georgia.
Georgia,
Ooh.
Georgia. All right. Now, let's go on to our next pick. Oh, man. It's a bunch of red and orange coming in.
All right, interesting matchup here. I think this is a pretty easy pick for me.
Me
I'll start it
too.
off. I think Texas Tech has looked great this year. They haven't played anyone too good. This is probably, I think, their tougher matchup so far to start the season. But I think Texas Tech has looked great offensively. Good overall team so far. I think they got a big chance of winning the Big 12. Give me Texas Tech at least by 20.
Ooh. Hey, let me go ahead and go. I think Texas Tech is really shown that they've got a good offensive strategy. They mix it up well, and they're hard to stop. So I'm going to go Tech all the way, baby. Well, Kyle,
Yeah.
if you don't
Kyle?
pick the one that I
Yeah, if
think
you
you
don't pick
should
Tech.
pick, I'd be
Not so
pretty upset
fast.
because you go, yeah,
Oh,
it's like, where's the guns up, right? You go to
Yeah, no,
Tech.
well,
You
you
go
got to
to
go to
okay.
class
Tech.
tomorrow, bro. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. If
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
see
Well,
this, they're not
well,
going to let you come in a classroom.
well. No, they got the favorite right now. You got Texas Tech favored by 23.5 for sure. But I definitely have Tech winning this because I'm going to the game, so people get my autograph. No, but I'll be at the game and stuff. But I'll for sure. This is easy decision. I got Texas Tech. You can't stop Morton. Morton's a great quarterback, great leader. This team is something to watch. Their defense has really stepped up from last year, and I don't think you can really do much against this defense. This defense is crazy good. Offense can't stop. Best wide receivers in the Big 12, I think. But I definitely have Texas Tech winning by a lot.
Good. You gonna bring some tortillas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
traditions never end.
Oh, this is a good one.
Oh yeah, here we go. So Texas A&M at Notre Dame Notre Dame, man. Oh, this is gonna be a good matchup.
Fort
I'm very
Bend.
excited to see. Both these teams are kind of like figuring. They're still figuring a lot of things out. Both these teams kind of have plans to make it deep in the season, hopefully make a run for the playoffs. I just think Marcus Freeman and that Notre Dame team is just it's better coached. They play more fundamentally better, sound football. Their defense is going to step up big and play a lot better than they had the first couple weeks. This quarterback, I think it's Hudson Carr. I could be wrong, but yeah, no, he didn't look super good against Miami, but he didn't look bad either. I think he's going to step up big and make some big plays when the moment calls for it. Give me Notre Dame to beat
The
the Aggies.
Irish. Oh, you sound like a little
All right,
leprechaun.
Dad, you want to go the next one?
Hey,
Or
I'll be
you
the
got the
next
next?
one. I'm sticking with the maroon on this one because I think A&M's got the upset. We called it earlier, and I think A&M's got the upset. You know, A&M's
Hey,
like
he's
a
got a
different animal. You never know. Like they're like a caged animal. Sometimes you keep them in there too long, they're gonna get too wild. So I really think A&M has a shot, and that's why I'm taking them as my upset.
No,
Hey, you got
Dad's
to
only
make the
picking
Butlers
them
happy.
because
I get it.
Dad's only picking them because they're maroon.
Yeah,
No,
I got
because
I
they're
got it. But
maroon.
we're talking about SWT in this shirt, but yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
nah. Traditions run deep. Notre Dame, like I always say, they have the best traditions. But I for sure, this Notre Dame crowd is gonna make some huge noise, and they're gonna have a hard time. Guess what? A&M can't stop the run. I think Jordan Love is gonna have a breakout game. They can't stop him.
I
Notre Dame's
agree.
gonna win because they just can't stop the run. I got Notre
Okay.
Dame easily.
All right. Good pick. Good pick.
Oh,
Oh,
this
the
is a
next
weird
one's a good
one. I
one.
was like, ooh, this showed up on the list. Duke and Tulane.
Yeah, this will be an
So,
interesting game.
yeah,
Yeah,
very
so
interesting. I'll let you take that one, Garrett.
yeah, I mean both these teams, we don't know a whole lot of or we don't Duke's kind of, just kind of there hiding in the shadows a little bit. playing decent football here and there. And you never know what you're going to really get out of Duke, I think, until like they start making a lot of upsets. Because Duke's a team that they play well, get a few upsets here and there, and then they kind of tamper off towards the end of the season. I just think this Tulane team is legit. This Tulane team is good. I wouldn't count out Tulane making. I think Tulane's got a shot at making the playoffs in that final spot if USF slips up in a couple games. But Tulane is a legit contender to make the playoffs this year. I got Tulane beating Duke.
Oh,
yeah.
Tulane.
Oh yeah, watching last week
Big Tulane
against
fan.
Duke, I forgot who Duke played
The
last
Green
week, but
Wave.
Duke was hanging in there, which was very shocking. Duke was actually having a great game, and then they pulled away. Duke's defense couldn't stop. I forgot who they played last week though, but Duke just couldn't handle it anymore. But at first, Duke was looking really good against whoever they were playing last week, and then they eventually lost it because Duke couldn't hang with them. But I feel like this Duke team is I feel like they're not a bad team at all. And I don't know, really. I like Tulane because I love their quarterback. I ain't gonna lie. This transfer quarterback, Jake, is no joke. This kid can play some ball. He played ball at BYU, then he transferred. This kid is no joke, and I love watching him. He's a phenomenal athlete, and I got Tulane by winning this by maybe by a touchdown or two. It's gonna be a really close game though.
Yeah, Duke played Illinois last week. That's who you're thinking of. Illinois kind of
Okay,
it
yeah,
was
I knew they
close for a
played.
little bit there, and then Illinois kind of ran away with it. So yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, it was close. Uh, this one has been a toss-up because I think Duke is up and coming, and they are a team that you just don't know. And Tulane, I think Tulane has got, Kyle said it, got a good quarterback, but I, I'm going to go with, I'm going to hate to say it, but I'm going to go with, no, I don't hate to say it, but I'm going to say it, Tulane. So across the board,
yeah.
we've all picked the green
Duke can stick to
wave.
basketball.
Yeah, well, Garrett, you spent some time in Louisiana. Yeah, we picked football over basketball this time.
But yeah, no, Tulane's legit. Don't sleep on Tulane this year.
All right, the
Oh,
next
big
pick.
game.
Yeah,
Go
the
ahead,
next
Kyle.
pick. This is the big game. So
God,
here
man,
it
this
is.
is a huge
This is it. Hey, you got
Battle
South
for
Florida.
Hey, this is the battle for South Florida. These are two
Yeah.
South Florida teams. They're not even far
Well,
from
this is
each
a
other. The
battle of
campuses.
Florida. What do you mean? South Florida. I was like, South Florida
Well,
already beat Florida.
they're in the southern part of Florida.
Yeah, I know,
Like
but
they're
this
both
is
are right
really a
down
battle
there.
for Florida.
Yeah, I still say
Yeah,
it's a
Other than
big game.
Florida State. Other than Florida State.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mention them, but other than
Don't
them,
sleep on
I think this is
FAU.
a battle for Florida. But
Yeah,
God,
go ahead,
man,
Kyle.
they're playing at Miami Gardens or Miami Gardens, Florida at Rock Hard Stadium
Hard Rock.
or
Yeah.
Hard
Hard
Rock
Rock.
Stadium.
Yeah,
Sorry, I said it opposite.
right.
But
Hey, where's
but
his mind at?
I definitely have South Florida pulling off a huge upset. You can't stop
Ooh.
them. Their quarterback is one hell of an athlete. It kind of reminds me of I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it. He reminds me of Johnny Football in a way because he's always looking for contact. He loves he loves just trucking the crap out of everyone, and you just can't stop him. He's a great running quarterback, great passer. He's phenomenal, but I don't think you're gonna stop him. He's so versatile. Carson Beck is decent, but I don't think he's never seen a dude this good. I don't think really they haven't seen.
All right,
Go
Garrett.
ahead, Dad.
Oh,
Oh,
you
okay, I'll
want?
go.
You go ahead, Garrett.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a down home fight, I think. South Florida's defense looked really good against Florida. Miami has just looked good overall. Their defense is much improved since last year. They got Carson Beck running that offense. They look a lot better offensively. I think this is going to be a close game, but I think South Florida's momentum, I think their upsets are going to come to a close. I think Miami and Carson Beck's offense is going to make the big plays in the big moments. Miami's going to take over this game in the fourth quarter, and Miami wins it at home in Hard Rock Stadium. And then Miami can officially be close to saying they are back. But I don't know yet. Still a long season.
Oh yeah. Well, Garrett, I'm right there with you. I think Miami is the better team. I think South Florida, yeah, they got a good game. They got the upset against Florida, but I think it's a bit of a fluke. I think it's an anomaly. So I'm going to stick with what we started with. I'm going to say Miami.
Okay, I wouldn't say South Florida's a fluke. I think South Florida's a good team. I just think Miami's a
Well,
little
I
better.
mean, I think they're good. Just like I said about SMU last week, they're good, but they're just not a top tier team.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. All right, let's jump to this next game, yeah?
Yeah, we'll get there.
This is going to be a fun one. I look forward to watching this game.
Yeah, I do
I mean, of
too.
course, we're a little biased, I guess, but
Eat 'em up.
Eat 'em up, cats. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
all I'm saying is last year, this game was played in San Marcos, like I said earlier. Came down to the wire. Texas State fumbled the ball in the fourth quarter. Arizona State got the ball back, scored. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
And that
I
wasn't a
think Texas
game.
State's better this year. Yeah, I think Texas State's better this year. I don't think Arizona State's nearly as good as they were last year, or they don't have the momentum that they had last year. They got a bitter Arizona State's got a bitter taste in their mouth. They want revenge from last week. They want to play good at home, and I think Texas State stabs them in the throat, puts them out of there, puts them in misery. Texas State wins this week
Wow.
on the upset.
All
Go ahead,
right.
Kyle.
All right,
Well, I
Kyle.
got Arizona State. Scatterboo can't save me this year. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this Brad Jackson for Texas State is one heck of a quarterback,
Yeah, from Reagan
and
High
he's doing a
School
great
in
job.
San Antonio. All
Yeah,
right,
shout
go
out
Yeah,
ahead.
he's
San
doing a great
Antonio
job. And
schools.
I feel like Texas State, like I was talking about earlier, they've already seen a good running back, and they were able to somehow come away with beating UTSA, which they had a great running back. But I feel like if Texas State can really stand them up on the run game, I feel like Texas State would easily, I feel like no problem. If they come out playing a full game, I got Texas State winning this.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. I can never go against my cats here. It'll always be SWT, and down below it says to me. So, and I'm going to stick with that. Go, big cats, eat 'em up. Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah, I mean,
Here we go.
yeah,
Yeah,
last thing
go
I'll say
ahead.
about that is like when we start talking about when the playoffs start coming around and we start talking about some of these teams that have a chance to get in that last spot. We got teams like South Florida right now that could get in. You got teams like Tulane. I mean,
Yeah.
Texas State wins this game, they can put themselves up there as like as a contender to get in that last playoff spot. If they can continue to win in the Sun Belt and have a great year. So
And win
this
the
is the
Sun
first
Belt.
step I think for Texas State.
Yeah.
If they want to make a solid season and have a chance to do some really big things, it starts right here this week.
Yep. I agree.
All
I
right.
agree.
The big game of the week, or
Yeah.
our game of the week.
Big game.
I think this is a big game, even though someone's not ranked anymore.
Florida and LSU.
I think this is a really interesting matchup. Down in Baton Rouge at Tiger Stadium, and it's a night game, I believe. Right? Isn't it a night game? Does anyone know? No.
I believe it is.
Yeah?
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, this place is gonna be rocking. LSU is gonna be going crazy. Florida's got a bitter like I was talking about Arizona State. They got a bitter taste in their mouth. They just got upset by USF at home. They're gonna be coming in full blazing. I think Florida's better than they looked last week. I think they play better this week. But I think LSU's got a more complete team this year. I think Garrett Nussmeier makes a big play at the end of the game. In a very close game. I'm talking like last second field goal, last second play to win the game. LSU wins barely.
All right. Well, I'm going to say that it will be a close game, but no closer than 7 points. Because I think the way Florida played last week, even though they're going to be hungry this week, I don't think they're going to beat a very, very good LSU team. And so I'm going to stick with LSU. I mean, I'm going to see them win by 10 points or more.
LSU might be slightly overrated, but we'll see.
We'll see.
All I gotta say is, hey, oh, suck that.
Oh.
Are you gonna be singing "Hold That Tiger" or not? What do you got, Kyle? What's your analysis? And let's
All
hear it.
right, what I got here is I don't think you can stop this offense. This offense is breakout. Garrett Nessmeyer, they're definitely running right now for the Heisman. You can't stop this dude. You can't stop this offense. The wide receivers, you got Andersons. You got two Andersons on your team. You got Nick and the other one, and Aaron. I want to say actually. And these kids are both studs at wide receiver. You got a good running back. You got Cade Durham. Durham is a phenomenal athlete, one heck of a running back. You can't stop him. This defense has once showed themselves this year, and I feel like LSU might actually have a defense this year compared to last year against Florida. They really struggled, but I feel like this defense is the Weeks brothers are here and they're ready to hit, baby. They're ready to get it going and they're excited.
Let's get
These
it going
brothers are wild and they love making some noise in that backfield. I'm telling y'all. But give me LSU by 20.
by 20 now. 10 was stretching it, I thought, for me. And Garrett's saying around a touchdown or so. So
It's gonna be
that,
close. I'm telling
yeah.
you, it's a prime time game in Death Valley. They got to make
But
it
and they're
interesting.
coming to Tiger Stadium, so you know it's gonna be rowdy.
Yeah, Death Valley's gonna be
Rowdy.
rocking, man. You know, I've been to a few LSU games, and I know it gets pretty fun down there. So yeah, but I mean, what an exciting week 3 we got. I
Oh,
mean, we got
goodness.
some big games this week. We're gonna learn a lot about the college football as a whole. You know, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, LSU, Miami, South Florida. I mean, Notre Dame, A&M. So many big games this week. So much excitement going into this weekend. You know, it'll be a lot of fun. Saturday's gonna be great. You know, just keep trying to keep up with all the different games. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this week. I think we're gonna learn a lot about a lot of teams. Hopefully, then Bobcats can get an upset. And so, yeah, Kyle, final thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's really exciting this week. It's a lot better than I feel like last week. Last week was not, we weren't expecting much upsets, even though it did happen. It was a good week, but this week is definitely going to show us a lot in the rankings, and we're going to actually find out who's good and who's not.
Yeah.
But I
I
feel like
agree.
there can definitely be a lot more upsets this week than definitely last week.
I'm excited about 2 games, and that's going to be Texas State and Arizona State and South Florida and Miami. Those 2 games to me are the games to watch. So I'm excited about this week as well.
So yeah,
All
I
right.
mean,
All right. Well,
well,
that's
thank
going to
y'all
do
for
it.
watching.
Yeah, we thank
Yeah,
y'all for
thank you.
watching. And this is the Triple D College Week 3. And we picked them. So, all right. Thank you
Yeah, like
guys
and
for
subscribe
joining.
too.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
No, I was like and subscribe, tell your friends.
Yeah. We need all the
Anything
help we can
counts,
get.
please.
Just click on it, please.
All right. Well, good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be out of here. So we'll see you next week. Same time, same place. This is
Go
Triple
Tigers.
D Hot Take.